My first ingredient is going to be almond flour. I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients first. So I have 1 1/4 cup of almond flour. Some people say you can sift it. I don't really notice a big difference, but now I'm going to do 5 tablespoons of psyllium husk. This is a psyllium husk powder I have. I think there are ones with better nutrition than this, because this one's carbs is pretty high. I'm going to use 5 tablespoons. So the carbs are pretty high on this one, but I've seen ones that are 0 net carbs. So definitely find a better brand than this one. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then 1 teaspoon of this quick rise yeast. It doesn't have any nutrition, so there might be carbs in here. I'm assuming there isn't. And I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. Definitely don't put too much because these can get salty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that up a little bit. Okay, so that is all well combined. It has some clumps from the almond flour, but you can sift that and that'll minimize the clumps. I have 1 cup of hot water. Then I'm going to mix that in. Now, it's not fully mixed, but I'm going to add my apple cider vinegar. And I will put 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Pew, pew, pew. And then I'm going to mix it up. Okay, so it's pretty well mixed, but there's still some crumbs, so I'm going to get in with my hands and try and get those the dry clumps out before adding my eggs. Okay, so it's pretty well mixed with the dry ingredients. Now I'm going to add 3 egg whites to this. I use this egg white, the liquid egg whites. So some of them vary. This one says 2 tablespoons is 1 large egg. I've seen some cartons say 3 tablespoons is 1 large egg. I generally just go with 2 tablespoons. It seems to work out. So that means 6 tablespoons of egg whites. Okay, now I'll mix it up again. I'm mixing this kind of like you would mix meat, where I'm squeezing it because it is very gummy because of the psyllium husk, and I really want to make sure that all of it is well combined. Okay, so it still has lumps and clumps in it, but that's okay. It'll all work out. I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 and then put this on a pan. I have these silicone mats. If you don't have silicone mats, you can use parchment paper. Don't use wax paper. I've made that mistake and it basically smokes up your whole place. as you start working the each of the rolls, it will start to cool, and then the dough becomes more difficult to work with. So you do want to flatten them out a bit, kind of like cookies, because they will rise as they cook. So like I said, as they cool, they are harder to work with. And even though you push them down, they'll want to kind of bounce back. Don't stress about it too much. It'll all work out. Just the taller they are, the longer it'll take to cook. But as long as you flatten them down, kind of like hamburger patties, you'll be okay. Okay, so I know these look weird and misshapen. As they cook, they'll round out and become beautiful. So I'm going to put these in the oven for 45 minutes to start with. My oven is a little bit on the colder side, so it'll probably take 60 minutes, but I'm going to start with 45 and then check on it. What we want is the tops to start to brown. The whole thing is going to be kind of a golden brown, so it'll be hard to tell when it's brown and ready, but that's what I'm kind of looking for when I check on these in 45 minutes. So I'm going to put these in the oven. So I just want to show you what it's looking like after 40 minutes. They are nice and plump, but still need some time. Okay, I just pulled them out of the oven. They're nice and brown on top, lightly brown on the bottom. Nice and soft though, but they have that crispy outside. So I'm gonna let them cool for a little bit and then I'll try one. Okay, so this is what the roll looks like. It definitely has like some squish. Can you hear it? It's got lots of air in there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in half and show you what the inside looks like, because this looks like a perfect regular roll. The inside looks a little bit different than a traditional roll. So this is what it looks like. It looks similar to a regular bread roll. It's got all those air pockets, but it has a little bit of a gummy consistency to it. I don't know if you can see, it's a little glossy. I don't think my camera's picking it up, but it's a little glossy. You can kind of see it's a little rubbery almost. So I'm gonna try it without anything on it. So the consistency on the inside is not spot on with regular bread. It's a little more meat-like texture, which I know doesn't sound great. These rolls are great keto options, but they're not perfect by any means. I'm gonna toast this side and show you what it looks like when it gets toasted. So while that's toasting, I just want to show you. So it looks very much so like regular bread, but I'm telling you, in person, it's a little more, it tears. The outside gets a nice crust to it, but the inside is a little more like, has kind of like a gummy meat kind of texture. It's not crumbly like bread is. So that's the only downside of these ones. Okay, so I toasted it up. It got nice and toasty. It did shrink a little, but it got nice and toasty on the inside. It doesn't have that gummy texture anymore because it's crunchy on the outside. It'll be a little gummy on the inside, but I added some butter to it. Let's see how it is. It's a lot better toasted. The gummy consistency is pretty much gone. It's still there. This also reminds me of the Uprising Foods loaves, but this is exactly what Unbun is as well. And Unbun is like $10 for 4 rolls, and I made 6 rolls. So I think if you're looking for a clean keto bun or, you know, roll recipe, I feel like this is a good way to go. You can make it from scratch. It's definitely not perfect, but it's a nice option. But that is how I make my psyllium husk rolls. Let me know if this video is helpful to you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.